Bruce Springsteen runs a Super Bowl commercial where he tries to unite the great country of the United States of America. And what does he get in return? He ends up charged with a DUI. I'm going to tell you why I think this charge is BS. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Joe the Lawyer. I'm your host, Joe Pometto, a practicing Pittsburgh criminal defense, personal injury, and family law attorney in Pittsburgh, PA. If you like my content, please subscribe. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. You guys have been great. You got me over 900. I am close. On this channel, I do legal analysis of the news and try to cut out some of the BS. We cover legal news, and you get to hear it from a lawyer. Now, before we jump into this article and I let you know what happened to the boss and why it's BS. Raise your cup, your glass in the air. I have here my trusty, well, I love coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and this is the greatest hockey team ever. The greatest hockey team ever. We have a ritual on the show. It's called the Same Time Sip. Raise your cup, your glass, whatever beverage you have, sip with me. It tastes better when we sip together. Cheers. I'm drinking regular Coke. My aunt gave me a 2-liter of regular Coke. I rarely try to drink it. I got to watch my figure, you know? But that's what I'm drinking tonight. Okay, Springsteen blew .02, a quarter of the legal BAC limit in DWI arrest, source says. And just to let you know, in Pennsylvania, it's .08. That's the legal limit. You got to be over .08. I'm telling you, to blow a .02, you're talking one beer. We might have had one beer. Okay, New Jersey rock icon Bruce Springsteen's blood alcohol content was .02, just a quarter of New Jersey's legal limit, when he was arrested on Sandy Hook in November and charged with driving while intoxicated. A source familiar with the case told the Asbury Park Press. In November? I thought this just happened, or the story just came out. The legal threshold indicating intoxication for driving purposes in New Jersey is .08, which calls into question why Springsteen was even charged with driving while intoxicated, the source said. Springsteen, 71, a native of Freehold who lives in Colts Neck, was arrested November 14th at Gateway National Recreation Area on Sandy Hook, a federal park. There's federal parks in New Jersey, and issued citations for driving while intoxicated, reckless driving, and consuming alcohol in a closed area, according to the National Park Service. Sounds like there's more to that last charge than there is the DUI. DWI is driving while intoxicated. DUI is driving under the influence. We call it a DUI in Pennsylvania. Every state's a little bit different. The charges were first reported Wednesday by Hollywood gossip news site TMZ. TMZ does get the good stuff first. Because the arrest took place on federal land, the case will be heard in federal court and will be handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Newark. That's true. Sometimes federal prosecutors handle like traffic ticket cases if it occurred on federal land. Matthew Riley, spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office, said he had no details about the November traffic stop. He said the tickets are not public documents. That's interesting. Daphne Yoon, well, I could see the ticket not being, but there should be some public record. But maybe you can't see the actual narrative written by the police. Daphne Yoon, spokeswoman for the National Park Service, said Springsteen was cooperative throughout the arrest. So a park ranger got him this DWI. Springsteen is due to appear before Judge Anthony Matone via video conference in what's known as Enclave Court, which is like a federal version of municipal court. Interesting. Those courts handle all local charges of offenses that occur on federal land within what is otherwise state jurisdiction. Riley did not immediately know the date for the upcoming court appearance. Springsteen has no prior DWIs, traffic or parking tickets, or other charges in New Jersey listed in municipal court records. Attempts to reach Springsteen's representatives were unsuccessful. Now, did they look for active cases only or closed cases? Because if you go your whole life without a parking ticket, I'm impressed. Upon news of Springsteen's arrest, Jeep removed its 2-minute film, The Middle, from its social media sites. The film first aired Sunday during the Super Bowl. I thought that was a pretty cool little video. I liked it with Springsteen reading the poem. Okay, so let's talk about why there's some BS here. Number one, first let me say that the police don't generally need to, don't always need to have a BAC in order to convict someone of driving while intoxicated, okay? In the old days, back before they took blood alcohol or measured blood alcohol content, right? You could get hit with a DUI. It's called general impairment for erratic driving, and then the police pull you over, your breath smells of alcohol, you have dilated pupils, they take you out of the car, run field sobriety tests, etc., etc. Okay, all right. Then you can still get a driving while intoxicated, okay? You can still get a driving under the influence. But usually a 0.02, a 0.04, if your BAC is that low, they don't end up charging the case. So I don't know if the issue here is that this was the National Park Service, okay, and it's Bruce Springsteen, so they feel, oh, we got to do everything by the book. It's Bruce Springsteen, we got to do everything by the book, and they went ahead and they filed everything. Okay, now the U.S. Attorney's Office could step in and offer him a deal. Okay, could offer him a deal, and I think that's probably what happened here. Is the park rangers pulled him over, got very nervous about it being Bruce. But I've heard many stories and seen many stories where the police, you know, if they breathalyze someone, and again, usually we're talking local police or city police, they breathalyze someone and they go, you know, they're a 0.02, they're not going to hit them with a ticket at all. They're not going to charge them at all. Though legally they could, okay? Under general impairment theory, legally they can. So this can be charged, but it's kind of like, come on, what are you doing? That's like finding a speck of marijuana dust in someone's pocket. You know, the police pat you down and there's like a, I don't know, like a bud that small. Not that I know what a marijuana bud looks like. I'm just telling you, a bud this small. Okay, it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna charge somebody for that? That's what you got here. So my prediction, although I can't really, because there's a couple of things that I'm not used to. I'm a state court practitioner. I do some federal stuff, but not federal criminal. So there's moving pieces here that I don't like. Number one, you're dealing with National Park Service. Number two, it's in federal court. Number three, you got a worldwide celebrity. So it's hard for me to really say what would happen. If this was a regular Joe, honestly, if this was a regular Joe, this case would probably get tossed, or they'd have him take the careless driving ticket, pay a fine, and get a couple of points on his license. But a 0.02, we're literally talking about one beer. So the biggest shocker about this is that they pulled the video down over this. Okay, Jeep pulled the video down over this? Come on. Though I must say, it's a bad look for a Jeep spokesperson to be driving under the influence, right? I mean, I kind of get that. They're a vehicle company. This is what they do. They don't want to be seen as promoting driving under the influence. So even though the case is BS, once it hits the airwaves, it takes on a life of its own, and they don't want to be associated with somebody who just got a DUI. So given that they are a vehicle company, I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass. I still wish they would have stuck by, and because that's a pretty cool commercial trying to tell the country to come together. It's got a really good message, and they took it down. They took it down as a very positive message. But I kind of see where they're coming from as a vehicle, as an automobile manufacturer. If this was somebody else, like a guitar maker or something, I would expect them to maybe stick by him a little more. And again, because the BAC is 0.02. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I'll try to monitor this. I think with a regular Joe, this case would get dismissed. I still think that will probably happen with Bruce. He'll plead to some lesser ticket, okay? But I can't predict it because, like I said, there's some weird factors here. Thank you for tuning in to see my little shot of news on the boss. Free the boss. Free the boss. Free Bruce. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Joe Pometto, Joe the Lawyer. If you like my content, like, subscribe, comment, and share. I love you guys. Peace.